Okay, so I'm going to go over all the developments, tell you which is the best one for money, which ones give you the best money, which ones to get, and also which is good to use if you're in a region where you haven't got that many resources, for example, like here. So let's first start off with the trapping. Now, trapping is a good early one. I wouldn't really want to waste my development point on this, but if you've got a good place, and let's say, for example, your fertility isn't that good, it's good, for example, here, but let's say, I don't know, I was in a region somewhere a bit different, the fertility might not be as good to grow vegetables. So what you can do is you can get the trapping. Another quick tip is you can actually move the hunter's location, as you can see. So you can just keep building something on it up until it gets close to your actual city. So you can keep moving it. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's one, definitely not one to get, I would say. Then we go over to hunters collect hides. I think this is currently a waste. You could really buy leather if you really need it, or whatever you need to buy. I wouldn't really recommend going for hides, and you might as well, if you want, with the burgage plot itself, you're better off just changing up. So let's say you got a garden, instead of a chicken coop, you can end up just putting a place to get hides. I think it's probably much better. You know, you can literally just get a goat shed. Yes, going to be a bit slower, but over time it'll be more useful. And then we're going to get to forest management, doubles or berry deposits. It's okay if if you have like a land with loads of berries, but I wouldn't recommend it. Beekeeping, apiary, same thing. I would say it's not even worth it that much. I mean, if I just go here to trading post 1 second, and I go have a look at how much you can buy honey for, you're better off just importing it. It sells for 3. It's probably not worth it. Now, that's the main ones gone. Same with wax. Now, this is where the main nitty gritty is. So, charcoal burning is probably the best one to use, because charcoal, it's worth a lot of money. It's worth 5 gold pieces. So you can go here, and everywhere the benefit is you have basically an infinite supply of charcoal. So you can see here, look, I'm exporting charcoal, look, 535, and I'm exporting it. And this is probably the best tree to go down, because there's only one development point that you use. And the reason why this is so effective is everywhere has trees. The whole map or the whole region has trees. And what you could do in theory is you could have, for example, a forester's hut. And for example, they'll be planting trees. So what you could do, in fact, is that you could build, and you need 2 of these. So 2 of these like this, 1, 2, and 1 woodcutter's lodge, fully maxed out. This will give you a good supply, and you can make money. So this is probably, in my opinion, the best development you can get inside the game, because it doesn't depend on your land. Like, you know, everywhere has trees, and it's a really good way of getting resources. Now, deep mining is a really good one, if you have the deep mines. Now, in my opinion, the best layout you can get is the iron deposit. The iron deposit and the clay deposit, because these are both mines that you could basically build mines on top. And you can buy the upgrade, as you can see, deep mine. And you can see, for example, in this region, I have the deep mine. And this basically makes an infinite supply of iron ore. Now, why iron ore is so important is, let's say you got, for example, a burgage plot, in particular level 2. You can get a blacksmith workshop. Now, this is where money really starts flying in. I'm just going to show you quickly now when I make one over here. So if I go here to trade, you can see, for example, the prices of some of these things. So for example, sidearms are very good. If I just buy this just 1 second as an example, you can sell it for 8 pieces each. So all you have to do basically is get the iron ore and then transport it to a bloomery, or get a bloomery. And then what you can do with your blacksmith, I'll show you just over here, you can then just start making sidearms, and you can also make spears and polearms, and tools are not yet used inside the game. So I would say for money making in the entire game, if you have an iron deposit, deep mining is the best. If you have, the 2 best ones are a clay and iron. So a clay deposit, for example, like here, This clay deposit will also be an infinite supply. And what you could do is, let's say you had an iron deposit and a clay deposit, both infinite supply. You basically got unlimited money, because what you'll do is you get iron and you turn them into iron bars with a bloomery and you make weapons out of them. And with a clay deposit, you'll do the same thing, and then you end up getting a clay furnace, and then you end up making clay tiles. And again, clay tiles is a very lucrative business, and I would say, especially with deep mining, is one of the most efficient ways of making money inside the game. Without you can see that I can sell them. You can see here for 8 pieces each. So deep mine is probably the best you can get for money. Then you have the helmets. Now the helmets are actually a good one. They're not too bad either, especially if you have the iron ore supply, because all you do need is you need like any level 2, for example. I'm just going to show you here, any level 2, and you just choose an armorer's workshop, and you can make helmets. So helmets, again you need iron as being the main thing, iron here, but you can see the helmets, they go for about 6. It's probably worth just buying them. It depends on the market, but they're not too bad if you've got to upgrade either. And plates, armors are probably one of the best ones. I'm just going to show you a quick example here. So if I go here, the trading post, and let's say, for example, I think I've just got about enough, but like you can see here with plate armors, you can export them for 24 gold pieces. So that is also one of the better money making tactics. But again, you're going to rely on an iron deposit, then you have to basically waste 5 development points. You can see you get 1, 2, so as you can see, I've maxed out, or almost maxed out. I'll get 1 more after a large town. But you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you end up be wasting 5 in total. But that is definitely a good way to make money. So chain armor, or mail armor, should I say, and of course, master armoring will probably be one of the better ones if you're talking about pure money. Then we go over trade logistics. So trade logistics is one of the better ones, because it reduces the trade route fee by 50%. So this is kind of good and kind of bad at the same time. I would say if you're in a region where you haven't got that much money, what extends onto this is better deals. This reduces the import tariff by half. Now, the reason why I said be careful with going all the way down to master armor making is, let's say, for example, you're in a region, let's just say over here, right? And you can see we can't produce any food. Let's just say we've got a normal berry deposit, let's just say, and a normal wild animals. We haven't got one like this. We just got a normal one. That is where, or something like this, you can see here, we got a normal berry deposit and wild animals. You got to be very, very careful, because if you do go down, you need to buy food, and food is actually quite expensive unless you got a different region. So the one option you have is expanding to another region. So I started here, and then I start expanding on the map. And then what you can do is you can use a mule station, for example, like here, or somewhere here, wherever I put it. But yeah, you can use a mule station. And what this will do, basically, this will just transfer items between, I don't know where it is. I think I've got one over here. But you can just transfer items. You can see, like here, a pack station, should I say. I'm using a mule, and I'm basically, as you can see, trading. And I can, for example, send food or get iron ore in return. So if you haven't expanded yet, trade routes are good. But I'll be honest, sometimes if you've got infinite supply of money with iron, you don't have to worry about it. So if you are going to go down the master armor making, you're going to have so much money anyway. You don't really need to worry about the better deals. Better deals, I would say, in regions where you haven't got the iron ore infinite supply like this. If I want to make weapons, I have to just buy them. So like you can see here, I can make food and everything. But if I want to make weapons, I'm basically stuck. If I wanted to be a bit cheaper, instead of buying, for example, for 13, for example, I could try to, at the very best, go lower down the chain and import iron ore and then make the weapons myself. That's what I can do. But that's where better deals do come in, because if you have to buy iron ore, and you haven't got infinite supply of money in a region like this, then trade logistics and better deals are probably the way to go. So if you're in a region where you know, for example, like here, I can't make that much money, um, the best option is realistically to go down trade logistics and better deals. And then where you could make the money is charcoal burning. So if you're in a town where the resources are not the best, you can do that. Now, foreign supplies, it's okay. You do get a permanent store, which gives you passive income of firewood, and one that gives passive income of bread. I think 15 bread, and that uses your wealth, your regional wealth. It's a passive one. You can just buy food anyway. That's the way I look at it. Like if you need it that bad, just buy the food. Like I think it's a decent one, but I think, okay, yes, I'm paying 9 over here, as you can see, for food. Even with better deals, you can see I'm paying a lot of money. But personally, I would just buy the food. If you got that much money, what you gonna do with that much money? You only need realistically about, I would say, 3k. I think from there you're pretty much good to go. You might take a hit when you're buying some armor and stuff like that. So that's what I would say in terms of that one. So foreign supplies, I don't think it's worth it yet. Now, heavy plow is one after the patch that's become very, very effective, because you can employ the oxen at a farmhouse. Now, this is only good, for example, like regions like here where like my fertility is very, very good. So you can see, for example, barley is very, very good. And so is my general for wheat. So you can see, for example, if I show you some of my fields here, you can see some of my farmhouses. You can see I have these oxens, and as you can see here, we got people plowing by hand, but then the oxens, they help the significantly faster plowing of fields, and you can see like that. You see, so this is compared to, for example, the actual humans. This is a really good way of plowing fields. It's like one of my favorites. So this plow thing is very, very good if you're looking for like a large region like this. And this region here basically have an infinite supply of food and fuel, because fuel is basically the charcoal, and then the food is basically all this. And you can see here I got like a chain system, and then they all come over here. Then it comes to the windmill. So the farmhouse, they turn into wheat, into grain, and then it comes to the windmill here, and you can see it turns the grain into flour, and then the communal oven turns the flour into bread, and that ends up giving me a very big surplus of food, almost infinite supply. With some of the, it's just a bit of a big photo. Just doing some testing here. That's why the Morgan rate is very high, but that's why it's a very good system to use. Bakeries, it's kind of pointless. This is a bakery extension that goes in houses. So if you got a level 2, you can get the bakery extension. It says it produces bread, as you can see, from flour with twice the efficiency of a communal oven. Now, I think this is a waste, because what I've just done here, even with all these field sizes, right? You can see I've got all the look how many fields I have here. I've got an insane amount of fields, not even enough for me and farmhouses to even get the job sorted, to be honest. And you can see, look here, there's my coal burning. And I got a forester's hut here, so the foresters will start planting trees, and then the woodcut will cut them down. They will turn into charcoal. I got infinite supply. But yeah, the problem with this bakery is just a waste. Why not just build 2 communal ovens? And the thing is, the communal ovens, you can see, for example, I've got one over there, and I got one over here, you can see. So just build 2 communal ovens, and the benefit of the communal ovens is, when you store the flour, you can store the flour in a granary, and then you can just keep making the bread. You don't need to double the efficiency. If it's really that bad, what you can do is, so my farmhouse, I normally max out all the people when they're trying to plow the fields in peak season. And then once it's turned into flour, then I stop populating the communal oven. So just build 2 communal ovens, and maybe for the time being, let's say when you have loads of flour, you can redirect resources from, let's say, I don't know, you got the forager hut, or let's say, I don't know, you got some people just doing nothing, logging camps, you can move them across. So I would probably say it's a waste of time doing the bakeries. Fertilization is a good one, because it allows to fallow fields as a pasture, which rapidly increases lost fertility. It's good, but But yeah, I'd probably say it's worth it sometimes. It just depends on, as I said here, the infrastructure of your actual town or village. Then we have this one now. This is a very interesting one, the sheep breeding. Sheep grazing on pasture slowly multiply. This has been changed. It depends when you're watching this video, but this video has been recorded in like July, August. There was a patch like a month ago that kind of fixed this, but this used to be very, very OP. But that's now been fixed. Then we have the orchardry. Now, I'll be honest, I just don't think it's worth it. Like, what is the point of apples? I think in the future, like apples and honey and wax will have a specific unique case, like maybe to make candles for lighting or something like that, and it would be worth it. But as from a financial standpoint, like if there's nothing in the game yet, it's basically pointless. Like I don't know, you can buy candles for now, but even I just right now there's just no use case. And apples, I just think it's an absolute waste of time as well. You can see if I go here to food, like apples, it doesn't do anything. You can just buy apples and only sell for 3. So in fact, bread sells for more. So personally speaking, I just think it's a waste of money. I'll probably not do this. Irrigation is okay, but I don't think it's worth spending a development point on it because it dramatically lowers the damage caused by droughts. Droughts are not that common. It does depend on how you play the game and how you set the game up, but it's not that common, so I really wouldn't worry about it too much. And then rye cultivation is actually not too bad because it's similar to rye can be processed into flour, but it's more resilient and therefore can be grown in places with low fertility. So let's say, for example, you've got a region, as I mentioned, where the fertility isn't that good at all or terrible. Although it's not going to still be amazing, it's more resilient and you can build the crops. But then again, you have to go through this one. You're going to waste 2 development points. So personally, I just think it's a waste of time. The only one I would say is advanced skinning has its ability. So one thing I wanted to mention is advanced skinning with, for example, wild animals is perfect because what you can do is you can go trapping, which gives you a passive income of meat. Then you can go, for example, double the meat harvested by hunters, and then you can have basically a good supply of food. If you have bad fertility, you can get a very, very good supply of food. On the cross side, you have the pelt extraction. Now, let's just say for some reason your house is what ended up being burgish plots of vegetables, because that's a good way of getting food, is using these burgish plots of vegetables. And let's just say, for example, for some reason you had no chicken coos, just for example. This is actually a very good way of making shoes. So you can use, for example, one of these. I think some of this should be the joiners. No, it's not the joiners, it's the cobblers. Cobblers make shoes, and shoes are a very good way of making money. In fact, you can see shoes, if I go here, you can see here, where is it? Yeah, shoes. Look, they sell for 8 gold. So shoes actually a very good money maker, but again, it's probably better to just build. So what you can do, like for absolute efficiency, what you can do is you can build something like this, and then you can build like this. And then why this is effective is you can build a house here with a plot. So I'm just going to show you this quickly. Let's just maximize. Just get these people for the second, just to maximize building here. That's one of my other towns. You can see, look here. It's like I was going to build this maximum. Now, what you could do is you could have a burgage plot like this, which is very, very easy to do. And the benefit of this is that you can just build vegetables, and this will give you a good supply of vegetables. So like if you have fertility is not much of a factor for vegetables, so it doesn't matter too much. But you're not going to build a chicken coop anyway, but let's say you really needed food, what you can do is that you can end up building a garden, and then you can end up building something like this. and then having like a chicken coop. But I've actually messed that one up. But you can build this, and then you can build like a. You can actually build a garden, like something like this. Let's just say, for example. Anyway, but yeah, you can build a garden with a vegetable pack, and that's a very good, efficient way of getting vegetables. But that is pretty much it. I don't think there's anything really to go with, but that is the best money makers. So realistically, the reason why I'm saying is, yes, the development points, but you have 6 in total, I believe. So if you go down like that, you wasted 5, and you can get establish a new trade route, but then you can't get better deals. So maybe I would say I would always go charcoal burning wherever you go, because you're gonna need money, and charcoal is from wood, and wood is basically from trees, and trees are everywhere on a map. And you can have, with a, as I said, with like a forester hut, you could have basically, so I got a forester's hut here, and basically got infinite supply. So you can see here the woodcutters, they cut it down, set it into charcoal, and then it goes here, and the charcoal then gets sold. So you're going to get infinite supply. So that is the minimum that I would go with. If you do have the mines, go for the deep mining. Otherwise, if you lack resources, or let's say you got the deep mining, you got a lot of money, it's better to go for better deals and import your food in. That will be the best thing to do. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of an in-depth video. Just a quick thing on production. There's nothing really there yet. But for policies, you have strict fasting. So hunting grounds, wild animals, and rich deposits breed twice as fast. If you use that in combination with trapping and advanced skinning, you've got a very good system there. But it's at the cost of 50% reduced yield from crops. But if you've got bad fertility, this would be a good one to use. Otherwise, you can just use strict fasting, which they skip every fifth meal. Reduces food consumption. It decreases approval, but it helps you if you haven't got enough of food supply and there's no more policies in early access. But thanks for watching. Hope this helped. And of course, I'll catch you next time. Take care, guys.